President Trump last night took the reckless, irresponsible, and dangerous step to declare that we will resume explosive nuclear testing, despite no evidence supporting the need to do so. Are explosive nuclear tests necessary? Yes or no?
My role would be to provide the requirements for the accuracy.
Do you think then we're not meeting our? You do not feel confident with the tests? Admiral Correll, your wife's here today, and to your family, thank you for your service to our nation and for your willingness to continue that service. So I want to talk a little bit about nuclear testing in Nevada. As everyone knows, the Nevada Test Site, now known as the Nevada National Security Site, NNSS, was ground zero for the majority of the United States explosive nuclear testing from 1951 to 1992. During this era, which we must not return to, millions of people and acres of land were contaminated by radiation. And my state of Nevada is still suffering the consequences. Since President George H.W. Bush signed the testing moratorium in 1992, the Nevada National Security Site has safely conducted non-explosive experiments to certify the reliability, the safety, the effectiveness of our nuclear stockpile. So let me be clear. What we are doing in Nevada is working. For decades, the directors of our national laboratories, the commander of U.S. Strategic Command, the secretaries of Defense and Energy, including through the entire time of the first Trump administration and again this year, have certified the military effectiveness of our stockpile. Nonetheless, President Trump last night took the reckless, irresponsible, and dangerous step to declare that we will resume explosive nuclear testing, despite no evidence supporting the need to do so. If this resumption happens, the amount of radiation exposure and destruction would be felt across the country and around the world. Make no mistake, this would be devastating and catastrophic. So I'm going to be crystal clear. I will not let this happen, not on my watch. I will do everything I can in my power as a senator, as a United States citizen, to put a stop to this and protect families in my state of Nevada. So, Admiral Correll, can you clarify what you told the committee earlier this morning and clearly tell us, in your expert opinion, are explosive nuclear tests necessary? Yes or no?
Senator, I'd be happy to schedule a follow-on briefing in a classified setting to have a discussion about testing. The STRATCOM commander's role, and if confirmed, my role would be to provide the requirements for the accuracy.
Do you think then we're not meeting our? You do not feel confident with the tests that our national labs and what we're doing at the test site, that the tests that we've been doing since 1992, when we stopped that above and below ground nuclear testing, have not been adequate enough to ensure the integrity of our nuclear arsenal?
The adequacy and efficacy of the nuclear weapons stockpile is certified on an annual basis.
And do you trust in those tests?
And it was certified satisfactorily, and I do trust that assessment.
And so would you counsel the President on national security implications? And let me tell you that we like to say in Nevada, what happens in Las Vegas stays in Vegas. But if you start those explosive nuclear tests, I can tell you this. Every bit of air, every bit of groundwater, every bit of soil across these United States will be contaminated with radiation, and everyone in this country will suffer, not just the people of Nevada. So how would you counsel the President on this issue of resuming explosive nuclear tests?
Senator, I would provide my best military advice in a private setting and classified setting.
So I know you're not there yet. You've had a career working in all of this, worked very hard and have so much knowledge. I look forward to really working with you and working to move all of these issues forward. I just want to be sure that you agree with data-informed assessments and that there really isn't a technical or strategic justification for resuming what might be a great photo op of a mushroom cloud over the western United States.
Senator, I have always been driven by data and, to the best of my ability, provide forthright and candid advice. And I commit that will not change going forward. And thank you for the question.
Thank you. I look forward to setting up that meeting in the SCIF to discuss this further. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Senator Rosen. Senator Warren, you were recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. And I want to say thank you to Senator Rosen. I want to follow up, but it's clear you're not going to answer much here in an open setting. But I'd like to join you when the meeting goes to the SCIF to understand the seriousness of this moment and what it means for our nation. Last night, the president may have launched us on a path of a new arms race when he announced that we should base our testing of nuclear weapons on what other countries, including states like North Korea, do to terrorize the world. At the same time, the Trump administration is cracking down on independent oversight and reporting at the Pentagon. This should be a flashing red light for this committee and for our constitutional oversight duties. This is billions, even trillions of taxpayer dollars that we're talking about, and the safety and security of the people and the land of the United States itself. We need independent assessments for what's happening here, and we need someone who's going to be candid with us about both their assessment and the facts about what's going on. So if I can, I'm going to ask some other questions that I think we can answer appropriately in this setting. I want to say congratulations on your nomination. As the commander of the U.S. Strategic Command, it's going to be your job to manage our current and future nuclear arsenal. The Congressional Budget Office estimates our plans to build new nuclear weapons will cost $946 billion just over the next 10 years. That's almost $1 trillion, and that's just an estimate. Systems like Sentinel, the land-based nuclear missile program, have turned out to cost almost double their original estimates given to Congress. And that doesn't just cost taxpayers, it jeopardizes our national security. Ballooning costs have forced the Air Force to consider postponing and scaling back its next-generation tanker, airlifter, and next-generation air dominance fighter programs. The military services are responsible for acquisition programs, but as the STRATCOM commander and member of the Nuclear Weapons Council, you're responsible for overseeing the nuclear weapons program, and your military advice here is going to be very influential. Vice Admiral Correll, would you agree that it is important for military planning to have an accurate estimate of how much a new nuclear weapon will cost and when it will be delivered?
Yes, Senator.
You agree. We need those basic facts. Look, we need to know how much things cost, but the Air Force provided Congress with a rosy cost estimate for Sentinel, which turned out to cost an extra $60 billion over their estimate. And they did this while declaring, quote, there was no more margin to extend Minuteman III, the program that Sentinel is replacing, past 2036. Well, turns out that wasn't true either. As the Government Accountability Office revealed last month, the military believes we can extend Minuteman III through 2050. So here we have it, this crucial program. The dollar figure was wrong and the time was wrong on it. We need to take an honest look at these programs and not shield them from independent oversight. Vice Admiral Correll, do you commit to ensuring that STRATCOM will not stand in the way of any independent studies or independent recommendations on Sentinel or any other program moving forward?
Senator, I commit to providing my best military advice in a candid and forthright manner within the department and to this committee.
I appreciate that. It is sorely needed. Think tanks influential with the administration want to add to the Sentinel program by making it mobile. They claim it's going to save money, but history and other analysts indicate it is much more likely it will increase cost and complexity. And what would we get for wasting billions of dollars more? Nuclear weapons being driven through American cities and towns. Vice Admiral Correll, if you were told to consider a mobile Sentinel option again and your military analysis showed that it would add cost or complexity, will you commit to sharing those results as part of your military advice with Congress?
I would commit to that, and that would be by, with, and through the department.
Okay, I appreciate that. It is more critical now than ever before that we have military leaders who are willing to be honest with Congress about our national security.